What if I told you that the Templars, the legendary knights of the Middle Ages, didn't just protect pilgrims in Jerusalem, but also guarded a secret powerful enough to shake the foundations of the Vatican? A secret sealed by a forbidden oath, and one that maybe should have never been revealed. The story begins on September 11th, 1128, under the cloudy skies of Troyes, France. Inside the imposing Cathedral of Saint-Pierre, Latin chants echoed as torches cast flickering shadows on the stone walls. 10 men knelt in a circle, dressed in white tunics adorned with the Red Cross, a symbol of martyrdom and unwavering faith. Before them, Grand Master Hugues de Payan raised a sword in front of the altar where a sacred relic rested, a fragment of the true cross, the supposed wood from the cross on which Christ was crucified. In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti, the Grand Master's voice rang solemnly as each knight repeated the ancient oath. But there was more. A pact sealed not only with God, but with the Catholic Church itself. In exchange for spiritual protection and the Vatican's support, the Templars took on a mission beyond common understanding, to guard not only the lives of pilgrims, but also the darkest secrets of Christendom. As the ritual continued, a cardinal sent directly from Rome watched in silence, his gaze heavy with knowledge that could never be revealed to the world. In the cathedral's shadows, a sealed parchment bearing the papal crest awaited the right moment to be delivered. Inside it, encoded instructions connected the Templars' destiny to the Vatican's hidden power, an alliance that would shape the course of history for centuries. As the last knight sealed his oath with a touch of the blade on his shoulder, the Grand Master spoke the final words: "Let this pact remain unbreakable, even at the cost of blood. For whoever breaks the silence shall know eternal judgment." What few know is that this oath wasn't merely symbolic. Documents recently discovered in the Vatican's secret archives suggest that the Templars had access to ancient texts considered apocryphal, scriptures revealing truths about Christ's life and the Church's role that never reached the public eye. This privileged knowledge made them guardians not only of material wealth, but also of information capable of shaking the very legitimacy of papal power. But what exactly did these documents contain? And why did the Vatican agree to keep this secret for so many centuries? Did you know that the immense wealth amassed by the Knights Templar didn't just fund crusades and fortresses, but also strengthened the Vatican's power? And what if I told you that this gold hides a story of secret deals that shaped the destiny of the Catholic Church? The year was 1147, and the Second Crusade was about to begin. Amid the preparations for the Holy War, the Templars emerged as an indispensable force. Their military prowess was already renowned, but what truly made them influential was something far more subtle: control over a vast financial system stretching from the Holy Land to the courts of Europe. While nobles and kings entrusted their fortunes to the order, believing in the promise of divine protection, the Templars developed an advanced credit system for the time. Pilgrims traveling to Jerusalem could deposit gold at a Templar preceptory in Europe and withdraw the equivalent in coins on the other side of the world, all under the supervision of warrior monks who not only wielded swords, but also mastered the secrets of numbers. But there was something even more intriguing. Hidden records in the Vatican secret archives reveal that in exchange for the spiritual protection granted by the Pope, the Templars transferred a percentage of their wealth directly into the coffers of the Holy See. This wealth didn't just finance the Crusades, it also solidified the Vatican's political power at a time when faith shaped the destinies of nations. On a cold winter night at an abbey on the outskirts of Paris, a secret meeting sealed the deal that would determine the fate of the order. Under the flickering candlelight, representatives of the Templar Grand Master and envoys from the Pope exchanged scrolls sealed with red wax. The contents of those documents remain unknown to this day, but historians believe they laid out the terms of an alliance as powerful as it was dangerous. In exchange for the Vatican's unconditional support, the Templars would ensure a steady flow of gold and information from the East. However, what few people know is that this alliance went beyond finances. Documents recently discovered beneath the Apostolic Palace hint that the Templars obtained sacred relics during their campaigns in the Middle East. Artifacts that, according to legend, held the power to change the fate of anyone who possessed them. Among these relics was a golden chalice adorned with Aramaic symbols, believed by many to be the legendary Holy Grail. These objects not only brought prestige to the church, but also fueled a network of influence that stretched through the corridors of power across Europe. Even the French crown, then held by King Louis VII, depended on the Templars' financial support to sustain its military campaign in the Holy Land, a dependence that, years later, would have devastating consequences for the order. But if this alliance was so powerful, what led the Vatican to turn against the Templars? Was it simply a matter of power and wealth, or was there something darker behind the order's downfall? The answer lies beneath the streets of Rome. Could ancient tunnels beneath Rome hold documents capable of changing everything we know about the Catholic Church? And what if those secrets were tied to the Templars and the pact the Vatican tried to erase from history? The year was 1307, and the persecution of the Knights Templar had begun in France. While many were imprisoned and tortured under the orders of King Philip IV, a small group managed to escape, carrying sealed chests filled with scrolls and sacred artifacts. Their destination, the underground vaults of the Vatican, a labyrinth of stone-carved corridors and chambers where sunlight has never touched. These tunnels, known as the Archivum Secretum Apostolicum Vaticanum, housed documents that chronicled not just the history of the Church, but also truths that could never be revealed to the world. Guided by a coded map, known only to the Grand Master of the Order, the Templars slipped into the catacombs under the cover of night, carrying the weight of a forbidden secret. Among the scrolls they transported was a manuscript written in ancient Hebrew, containing passages that contradicted the canonical Gospels. According to anonymous sources who claim to have accessed these documents, the text suggested that Jesus Christ possessed esoteric teachings shared only with a select circle of disciples, knowledge that, if revealed, could shake the very foundations of the Christian faith. As they made their way through the narrow corridors, the knights left behind symbols carved into the walls, enigmatic signs that only the initiated could understand. One of these symbols was the Templar cross, intertwined with the key of St. Peter, representing the secret alliance between the Order and the papacy. In a hidden chamber beneath the Sistine Chapel, the Templars finally placed the chests on a stone altar, sealing them with iron chains. Before leaving, the group's leader, whose name remains unknown, spoke a warning etched in Latin on the chamber walls. "Whoever dares to break this seal will unleash truths the world is not ready to know. Let silence be the last fortress of faith." For centuries, this secret remained hidden, until 1947, when an unexpected discovery brought new clues to light. During a restoration project in the Vatican's underground passages, workers found a corridor sealed with ancient bricks. After breaking through the barrier, they came upon Templar symbols carved into an iron door, the first concrete evidence of the Order's presence in the Vatican archives. What happened next remains shrouded in mystery. The documents found were immediately collected by the Pope's personal secretary, and access to the corridor was sealed once again. Unofficial reports suggest that among the recovered texts was a letter dated October 13th, 1307, in which the last Templar Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, delivered one final warning to the Vatican. "The knowledge we entrusted to you belongs to no man, but to the very destiny of humanity. May the choice to reveal or conceal it weigh upon your souls until the end of time." On October 13th, 1307, Beneath the grey skies of Paris, the city awoke to the echo of soldiers' boots marching through the streets. Under direct orders from the French crown, and according to some historians, with the silent consent of Pope Clement V, the Templars were captured in their fortresses, accused of heresy, blasphemy, and occult practices. But what fueled such relentless persecution? Officially, the king claimed that the knights had strayed from the teachings of the faith. However, behind the public accusations lay a far darker truth. King Philip IV, drowning in debt after years of war, coveted the order's immense wealth. The Vatican, meanwhile, feared that the secrets guarded by the Templars might come to light, threatening the Church's authority. Accounts from the time describe torture sessions conducted in the dungeons of Château de Chinon, where knights were forced to confess to crimes they had never committed. Among the seized documents was a scroll sealed with the Vatican's emblem, evidence of secret correspondence between the Pope and Grand Master Jacques de Molay. The contents of that letter remain unknown to this day, but many believe it contained one last warning to the Templar leader. Silence is the price of survival. Breaking it will seal the fate of your order. While many knights languished in captivity, a select group managed to escape the persecution, carrying with them the order's greatest treasures. Under the cover of night, they departed from the port of La Rochelle aboard unflagged ships, vanishing into the waters of the Atlantic. Many believe their final destination was Scotland, where they found refuge under the protection of sympathetic nobles, and where the Templars' secrets lived on, passed down from generation to generation. What few people know is that the destruction of the order didn't mark the end of its influence. Archives discovered in the 19th century suggest that even after Jacques de Molay's execution on March 18, 1314, the Vatican continued to monitor the descendants of the knights, fearing that the Templar legacy might resurface. In a letter sent to the French monarch Louis XVIII, Pope Pius II warned, "The shadows of the past still walk among us. Let it never be allowed for the knowledge sealed beneath the cross and sword to return to the light of the world." But what really drove the Vatican to betray its former allies? Was it merely fear of the Templars' power, or the dread that the secrets buried beneath Rome might come to light? After Jacques de Molay's execution on March 18, 1314, many believed the story of the Knights Templar had come to an end. However, documents found in the Vatican secret archives suggest otherwise. While the order disappeared from public view, its legacy continued to operate in the shadows, preserved by a lineage of silent guardians. Among these documents is a scroll dated 1317, sealed with the papal crest and marked with the Templar cross. In it, Pope John XXIII warned the most influential cardinals of the time about the need to keep the knowledge shared by the knights a secret, lest it shake the foundations of the Christian faith. The letter ended with an enigmatic phrase: "Truth belongs to eternity, but the world is not ready to hear it." Over the centuries, signs of Templar influence continued to surface during pivotal moments in history. In 1517, during the Protestant Reformation, rumors swirled that certain religious leaders possessed manuscripts inherited from the Templars, fueling theories that the order's forbidden knowledge had been secretly passed down through discreet societies. Some historians suggest that symbols found in European cathedrals and palaces, such as the Rosy Cross and the All-Seeing Eye, are remnants of this hidden legacy. The most intriguing clue, however, emerged in 1948, when an Italian researcher named Giovanni Montesi, granted permission to study the Vatican's underground archives, discovered a sealed vault that wasn't listed in official records. Upon opening it, he found a collection of Latin manuscripts accompanied by a golden artifact shaped like a chalice. Its origin remains unknown. Although the details of the discovery were immediately classified as confidential, leaked documents indicate that the artifact bore inscriptions similar to those found in ancient Jerusalem temples. This event reignited speculation that the Holy Grail, The chalice used by Christ at the Last Supper may, in fact, have been recovered by the Templars during the Crusades, remaining under the Church's custody to this day. In a private letter sent to Cardinal Eugène Tisserand, Pope Pius XIII himself wrote, "Certain mysteries are destined to remain beneath the veil of the sacred, for their revelation could shake the very essence of humanity. But does the Vatican truly guard the Holy Grail? And could the knowledge passed down by the Templars still influence decisions made behind the scenes of power? Perhaps the answer is closer than we think, hidden between the lines of history, waiting for the right moment to come to light."